Retro Ghetto.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Retro Ghetto. So, video game collecting is changing at a rapid rate. Hate it or love it, CEX has a large influence over collecting prices, especially here in the UK, and they've been making a lot of changes early this year. They changed their listings from with a manual and without manual, and then the inevitable price increases which came after that. I've sort of speculated as to whether I thought that games with the manual would go up in price or games without a manual would go down in price, and probably somewhat naively I didn't anticipate that both with and without manual would go up in price, as we've seen recently. Prices are going somewhat crazy on retro games. That's nothing new. People have been talking about the price of retro games increasing for years now, but it doesn't seem to be showing any signs of slowing down. In fact, the current price increases show that it's going up at an exponential rate. So it kind of leaves me asking, what is the future of video game collecting, and in particular retro video game collecting? I unboxed a Mario game just last week on the channel. I paid £100 for it, and overnight that game went up to 130, so a huge 30% price increase. And even an inferior version of that game, i.e. one with no manual, went up by £10. So yeah, it's left me with a lot of things that I wish to discuss. And whilst we're talking about Mario games and the craziness of prices, have you guys seen how much Mario World sold for recently? I mean, whilst I'm going for a full set, do I need every variant? It's got me looking at mine thinking, wow, £500? Mine's in good condition too. What could that fund? But we'll get to all that a little bit later on. This, however, isn't going to be a video of just me moaning and ranting at the camera for the next 20 minutes or so. Where there's change, there's inevitably opportunity. I recently saw some games that came into stock that I wanted to purchase for my collection, and I was running low on vouchers, so I decided to take advantage of CEX's recent price increases, look at my shelves, see what I could free up to potentially invest in other areas of my collection, and here's how I got on.
So when I was looking at what is expendable in this room, my first thought was to see if I had Alien Resurrection on the PlayStation 1, because that game has gone crazy in price. There was something in the coding apparently, which enables you, I think, to be able to play almost every PlayStation 1 game. I don't entirely know. Sadly, I don't have Alien Resurrection, but it did lead me to look at Alien Trilogy, which the Platinum version has £6 trade-in. So then I went through the rest of my Platinums. The Grand Theft Auto Platinum actually has £16 in trade-in, so I was shocked by that. Tekken 2, I believe, has £6 trade-in. Theme Hospital currently has £16 worth of trade-in. This is arguably the one that shocked me the most. South Park on the PlayStation 1. I don't know when or how I came across this game. It was probably just in a bundle, a charity shop find once upon a time or something like that. £16 trade-in on that one. Grand Theft Auto, £16, even on the Platinum version. Then I thought, well, if I'm going to get rid of Grand Theft Auto, I might as well get rid of the others, right? So Grand Theft Auto 2, which we've got sat here, that goes for, where are we now? £16 as well. And Grand Theft Auto London Special Edition, £13. So it's starting to add up. I think the one with arguably the most value is Resident Evil 2. This was always a game I was going to get rid of one day. I was just waiting for the right time. That's currently got £23 trade-in value on it. There's £32 in Alpha 3 and EX2 Plus, and a massive £20 just on Super Puzzle Fighter. So yeah, Broken Sword has got £20 of value in it. Sim City, where are you? SimCity 2000 has £6 trade-in value. Rayman has £6 of trade-in value. Tenku Stealth Assassins, a personal highlight of mine from when I was a kid, that has got £16 of trade-in value. Tekken 3, where are we? There, Tekken 3, £16 of trade-in value. The 3 Crash Bandicoot games, £46 worth of trade-in value. And Gex Enter the Gecko has a total of £20 trade-in value. So, as you can see, it's just the ones that I've decided to pull out, right? So just those games there that I've pulled out from my collection after having a quick look at my PlayStation 1 values with CEX comes to a total of a staggering £306 trade-in. Now, as you can see, there's still a lot of other games on the shelf. Admittedly, the ones I've pulled out are where the value is primarily. But there are still games which have value. You've got Wu-Tang here, you've got the Hercules game, and a few others. CEX are quite, I don't know what the correct term is, probably sporadic with the games which they list on their website for PlayStation 1. There's a lot missing, so there's a lot that aren't able to be traded in. So I've still got all these other PlayStation 1 games which I could theoretically sell. Maybe do as a bundle, job lot. I'll keep you guys abreast of it, but I am staggered that there's over £300 in value just in the games that I've pulled out here. And yeah, PS1 has never been where my heart is, and I think it's time to get ready. Okay, so I'm sat in traffic. I've got my bag full of PlayStation 1 games. You'll have to excuse the light, the sun's blinding. I don't know, guys, I've had an attack of the seller's remorse. I'm sitting in, I think traffic maybe has done me a favour. It's made me reflect. I'm thinking, do I need to sell all these? Will I regret it? Are they only going to go up in value? So I've sat here and I'm thinking to myself, even just the games that I do not care about, the South Parks of this world, WWF Attitude, Road Rash without a manual, the Platinum Grand Theft Auto, because I don't really want the Platinum games. Yeah, there's still, I think, about £130 worth of trading value just in the games that I consider to be filler that I really don't want in my collection. So I think what I might do is change it up and see this as a moment of refining the PS1 collection rather than getting rid of it entirely. I think what I'll do is limit myself to one shelf, all killer, no filler. Still sell all the rest of the filler that we've got back in like a job lot, maybe privately or to a video game shop to add more money to the collecting bank. But yeah, I don't think I want to get rid of the Crash Bandicoots, the Resident Evil, the Broken Sword, the Gex, Enter the Gecko, the Tenku. It's just nostalgia, I think. So I think I got a bit carried away this morning with the dollar signs. But yeah, I think I'm going to refine the sales list. Right, okay, so I think I've narrowed it down to exactly what I'm selling. I've just arrived to my locals, so let's go CEX and see if I can actually part with these games, eh? Okay, so this is my newly assembled all killer no filler PlayStation 1 shelf. These are games that I enjoy, I envisage playing again, or I've got real sort of like childhood nostalgia attached to them. So yeah, really happy with that. And I've got a small space at the end with which to grow. It's not a collection I'll be actively collecting for, so yeah, just a space there for another 3 or 4 games which I may add down the line. So as a result, I've got this nice looking shelf. I've got almost £100 worth of CEX vouchers. I've still got all of these games which I can sell or trade to things I'd rather have. So yeah, job well done. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I sold what I think was mostly filler titles for the PlayStation 1, and like I said, there's never been a better time to do so. Like I said previously, where there is change, there's often opportunity, and with PlayStation 1, there's definitely opportunity right now. I actually took to eBay and had a quick look at price comparisons in terms of like what CEX gave me for trading against what people are currently paying for these games. And there wasn't much disparity between the two numbers at all. So I don't know if CEX are envisaging that PlayStation 1 is going to continue to go up in value and they're going to sit on these games at a high value in hope that maybe later on people will be paying these prices, or whether just it's an indication that PlayStation 1 prices are going through the roof as we speak. But either way, I think I made the right decision. It's actually made me want to collect PlayStation 1 even more. Now I've got like an all killer no filler shelf. It's given me that passion for collecting it, which I didn't already have, but I mean, that's the life of a collector, right? But that's somewhat counterproductive because that's not what I did this for. There are other systems in here that I will be thinning out over time. When I look at like my Nintendo Wii shelf and my PlayStation 2 shelf, there's a lot of filler titles in and amongst those collections, but I'm not going to get rid of the games until I think the time is right, either in terms of the value or because I need the real estate here within the Retro Ghetto 3.0 to add other parts of my collection. But collecting is a passion, and sometimes nostalgia and emotion attached to these items trumps logic and finances. Case in a point would be my Super Nintendo collection. For me, going for a full Super Nintendo set right now is nigh on ludicrous. There's probably never been a worse time to try and attempt such a feat, but it's just a real labour of love, something which, as I say, takes me back to my childhood, and you actually can't put a price on that.
However, what it can do is it can be aided and abetted by selling off other collections of lesser emotional attachment, as you've just seen. Also, I'm not solely focused on collecting Super Nintendo. It would be very few and far between with my hunts or purchases if I was only adding Super Nintendo or Mega Drive games to my collections when they are currently at such a high value and so hard to find complete or in good condition. There's actually a few other collections in here which I'm very passionate about at the moment, and they really give me that new lease of collecting life towards the back end of last year and going into this year. Primarily, I'm looking right now at my PlayStation 3 Essentials set. A very cheap collection to go for, and one that I'm really enjoying. It really has put the fun back into hunting at CEX stores up and down the country. I'm absolutely loving it. I love how it displays, and I love how great it will be to have an almost comprehensive PlayStation 3 library at the end of it. Also, I'm huge right now on collecting Xbox 360, as you guys will know if you've been watching the vlogs. When I'm filming this, I'm sat looking at my Xbox 360 corner, and I absolutely love it. I think arguably of all my collections in here, this is arguably my favourite one to look at right now. I don't know, there's something about those green cases, those fantastic collector's editions, sleeve covers, steel books that were just so prevalent in that era of gaming, and there's so many different weird and wonderful rare items to collect within this. And yeah, I think for some reason Xbox 360 is quite often castigated by the collecting community, and that's something else that I wanted to touch upon. Don't collect what other people collect. Don't collect what YouTube dictates you should collect. Collect what you enjoy. If I only wanted to collect things other people didn't look down on, then there's no way I'd be sitting here now with a big smile on my face looking at my 360 collection. Just, yeah, there's definitely things out there which you can collect. Collect the way you want to. Collect what has memories for you. Collect what you enjoy looking at. Collect what is affordable, something that won't break the bank. There's so many different video game systems and different spin-offs and subsets that you can collect for that, yeah, there's definitely something out there that you can find which will work for you. And that takes me nicely onto these boxes right here. CEX Lottery of sorts, and yeah, the games that I have within these boxes really sort of highlight my current collecting habits. So let's get into this one first, shall we? We've got this camera here. There we go. So this is a prime example of the current market, right, which is just so volatile. This is a game which went up to like £35 at one point, then dropped right down to 15. It's now currently sold out at CEX, and the price is currently sitting at 20. On eBay you're looking at 30 plus, and yeah, just a great example for a video like this of where the current market is. And I want to sort of highlight patience with this, because I was tempted to buy this when it was like £30–35, thinking to myself, it's going to keep going up, it's going to keep going up, but sometimes you have to just wait it out, see what happens. And with this one, eventually it did sort of settle down, but again, like everything, it's going back up. But here we are, let's get into it. And that game is Pro Evolution Soccer 2018. So this is actually a really interesting title, in that this is the last Pro Evolution Soccer game released for this generation of consoles. Pro Evolution Soccer 2015, 16, 17 and 18 had all been released on the Xbox One. I personally stopped playing Pro Evo in, I think the last one I played was 2016. I eventually accepted defeat. I went to the dark side. I started playing FIFA and FIFA 17 just because of the online and everybody I knew was playing it, so it was more of a social aspect. I don't play any football games anymore, not competitively, right? I blame my receding hairline on playing Pro Evo online or FIFA online. But yeah, just a really interesting title. One that I just envisage over time will be harder and harder to get because, as I say, the next generation have been out for so long. I don't know how many copies this one sold. Let's take a quick look at this one then. As you can see, it had crept back up to £20, and it feels light, and that's slightly disappointing, yeah. No manual. Normally, if there's no manual in a Pro Evolution Soccer game, you're not too bothered, right? But a game like this, yeah, it is disappointing, because I would rather have it with the manual. But I think I'll just hold on to it and hopefully grab another copy down the line. Such is, as I say, the volatility. Is that a word? Such are the ups and downs with the current video game market that I'm not going to let this one go, because, like I say, it seems to be back on the way up, and there's none in stock anyway. But yeah, just a really interesting game, and I thought it was a perfect example to sort of highlight some of the things we've been discussing on this video. And again, one of them things that is not popular amongst collectors. It's not en vogue, right, to collect for Pro Evolution Soccer games. The games that you see strewn out across shelves at CEX that nobody wants, charity shops, sitting collecting dust. I love Pro Evolution Soccer. This was a large part of my youth, my early adulthood, playing this with my friends and everything that went along with that, those memories of that time in life where, you know, sort of the in-betweeners time, finishing school, starting work, having very few worries. And yeah, it just takes me back to that good place, man. So that's why I've been going for the full set of Pro Evolution Soccer games, and this was a key component and he managed to do so. Okay, this next one is the epitome of my current collecting habits. It really is. And forget what I said on the last video about it being the final CEX Lottery, because in many ways this is a genuine CEX Lottery. Because this is encased in cardboard and yeah, condition is vital. If this is in poor condition, this will be going back. Although I'd hope that isn't the case, because there was just 3 in stock, so there's now just 2 copies in stock at the time of recording this. Weirdly, all 3 were north of the border as well. I don't know why. It seemed to be more prevalent in Scotland. It's a game which is very uncommon in this format. I didn't even know of its existence until recently. I saw it on eBay, and then I sort of took to CEX and was able to source myself a copy. And yeah, let's just get into it, shall we? So we're going to start with the pull tab here. Kind of. Let's take any invoice that we've got. Put it in here, leave it hiding. Feels rather anticlimactic now, right? Right, okay, let's just whip it out. Let's whip it out. That game is the special edition, collector's edition, whatever you want to call it, of Tekken Tag Tournament. Or Tekken Tag Tournament 2, should I say, is the 8th installment in the Tekken fighting franchise, released for the consoles in 2012 after a year on the arcades. This game includes almost every single character from the previous 7 Tekken iterations, and you can play either solo or in a 2, hence the name Tekken Tag. I personally am a bit of a purist when it comes to fighting games. I prefer one-on-one fighting, but hey, that's just me. It's still got really good reviews. It's currently sitting at 8.2 on Metacritic, but yeah. Let's take a closer look, shall we? I'm sitting here smiling, guys. It looks really good. And this is why I said this was a genuine lottery, right? Because I didn't buy this for the game. I already own the game. I've got it as part of the fighting collection. I also own the special Wii U edition of Tekken Tag Fight 2. It's a mouthful. I own it on the Wii U. So really, this was all about getting this nice special collector's edition to add to my 360 area. And as I say, it's somewhat uncommon, but it looks to be in really nice condition, as you can see. No obvious damage, very slight sort of bumps on the corners, which you'd expect from a game of this vintage, shall we say. But yeah, it's looking real good. I'm not going to quickly open it and see what we've got inside. Okay, so we've got a really nice steelbook here, which is in good condition, as you would hope. And not only do we have a copy of the game, but we've got Tekken Takes Tokyo, Tekken Takes Tokyo, should I say, behind the scenes, so that's nice. I do enjoy DVDs, I keep saying, don't send me postcards with games, don't send me stickers, send me DVDs, that kind of thing, because I actually enjoy watching them. And then we've also got a Tekken Tag Tournament 2 soundtrack, so that looks really cool. And crucially, the art of Tekken. I love the art when fighting games. For me, a fighting franchise is make or break in terms of its artwork. And yeah, I'm sitting here now looking at this Art of Tekken book and some absolutely gorgeous artwork in here. And yeah, I've got to say, I am really happy with this. I can't wait to place this in the Xbox 360 area. We'll do that on Sunday's vlog. But as I say, this really is the epitome of what I love about collecting right now. You know, this era of games, it's somewhat uncommon. It looks great, and at £30, it's not too expensive. And yeah, that pretty much helps to summarise what I want to say about collecting games in 2024. Yes, it's harder to get complete retro. Yes, prices have increased, but this fantastic hobby is ultimately still alive, and you just have to maybe manage it and try a little bit harder to make it work for you. Whether that's selling games to fund expensive purchases or finding passion in systems which are still affordable in 2024, there's definitely a way that everybody can still collect. So don't let the naysayers bog you down with negativity. Prices are volatile. Numbers go up, numbers go down. That's life. But I absolutely love what I'm doing here. I love creating collections, and like I say, don't collect based on other people. Collect on what you enjoy. Don't let other people's thoughts on something dictate how you feel about it, and yeah, find happiness in what you do, otherwise what's the point, right? I'd love to know from you guys what you are currently collecting and whether your collecting habits have had to change with recent prices and changes throughout the collecting community. But yeah, as always, play your games, keep it retro. I'll see you next Sunday in a bit.
You're watching the Retro Ghetto.
Ghetto.
Ghetto!
Yeah.
Lock into the retro ghetto.